Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff, and this is part 5 and the final part of building Lego set 21061, the Notre-Dame de Paris Cathedral. We have so far had 4 other streams, and we've used up bags 1 through 25, and here's what it looks like. We're going to start off with bag number 26 today, and like I said, we're going to finish this. The only thing that can possibly stop me is some of the pain that I'm going through right now. And I'll explain that later, but we're going to get as far as we can. I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras, and we're just going to get started on the build. All right. I got to adjust one thing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hello, Greg. How you doing? So this first step is a repeat. You got to do double. So let's go ahead and build them side by side and just get going. How's your day been today, Greg? My day's been okay. I did get my truck out of the shop today, and I'm not too happy with the shop, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, so you've had blazing knockout wings at B-Dubs today. Okay, I've never had that or heard that place, but is that a place that you go often? Went to Best Buy. Yeah, it's the Geek Squad, right? Is that what they call themselves? Oh, it's Buffalo Wild. Oh, okay. I have heard of Buffalo Wild Wings. It's been a long time since I've lived next to one of them, though. There was one in Columbus, Ohio that me and Mrs. Chip went to a couple times. So tomorrow's a big day for me. Tomorrow's is my Vegas trip to pick up a butt ton of Legos. And I'm really hoping that I'm able to get it all safely here without any problems, no damage. And I'm hoping I'll be able to resell them quickly. I think I found a buyer for most of it. I just don't, they haven't committed 100%, but they are interested. So hopefully there'll be a quick turnaround, and I'll be able to use the money to pay some bills, like getting my truck fixed. Getting my truck fixed cost me $2.5 grand. Oh, he's saying, Greg's saying it's the hottest flavor they have. Wow, dude. So are you a glutton for punishment? I'm borrowing that from Saturday Night Live when they had Arnold Schwarzenegger on there as the Terminator. And it was Easter. And they had a character playing Jesus on there. And as Jesus is getting crucified, he says, I'll be back in 3 days. And Arnold Schwarzenegger says, are you a glutton for punishment? And he says, he'll be back. I said, I'll be back. Anyway. I'm not happy with the shop because they overcharged. Okay, so I went in because the electronic parking brake said that I needed to service it now. Well, I know why it needed to be serviced, but I just can't do it with my neck. So I took it in, and I also told them, hey, while you're at it, the left hand of the steering wheel, it's got buttons. Both left and right have buttons, but the left hand, they weren't working. They were going like the cruise control and stuff. It was going in and out all the time. And so I said, can you guys just take a look at it? Well, they claimed that an hour diagnostic wasn't enough, which is $150 an hour. They said, oh, well, your truck's throwing a couple different codes, and because of the way it's throwing the codes, it actually could just be one thing. And so we would like an extra hour and a half of diagnostics just to check it out to make sure that we know what's wrong with it. And so I approved the extra hour and a half. And they threw some parts at it, and then they came back and said, oh, well, the other thing that was broken that we thought, yeah, that's really what's broken. So we need another $350 for an extra part. And so I said something to him. I said, look, man, why am I paying that extra hour and a half of diagnostics if you really actually didn't do it? And they didn't have an answer. And then I got mad because they recommended for the steering wheel that I replace both sides, both the left and the right side of the buttons. Well, I asked why, and the gal says, oh, because it comes as a kit. Well, it does come as a kit if you go on motorcraft.com, but it also comes separately too. So they ended up charging me for the kit, put both sides in when only one side was broken, and they lied to me. I'm not going to name the shop just yet because I'm going to get a hold of their management and see if I can talk some sense into them. Now, if I can't, then I will name them. But I don't think it's fair just to name them right off the bat with not knowing whether they will make good on it or not. Because I could be very pleasantly surprised they may. Okay, so that was bag 26. Now, bag 27 and 28 are dealt with at the same time. And Greg asked, how is Spencer and the animals? Well, Spencer is an animal. No, I'm just kidding. So I got to do this 8 times, by the way. Spencer's doing pretty good. On the way home from picking up my truck, he politely asked me to stop by a restaurant and pick him up some food, so I did. So, yeah, I made sure he had dinner tonight. Let's see, what else is there? He did help me yesterday. Yesterday we went next door and we did some work at my neighbor's house. And that's part of the reason that I'm in a lot of pain today is that we installed 3 overhead, lights in their basement. And, well, I've had 3 neck surgeries. And I didn't think it was going to hurt that much, but I was wrong. It's hurting quite a bit. So I took an naproxen before I started this, and I'm hoping that I'll be okay and be able to do this because I don't want to put this off. I want to get it done today because tomorrow's Vegas, and after tomorrow, I'm sure that I'm going to be busy verifying those sets so that I can resell them. And I'm probably going to be putting a lot of time into that. Yeah, John, I did naproxen. Naproxen seems to work pretty well for me. It is pretty much Tylenol. I mean, just extra strength Tylenol. So anyway, but yeah, I am hurting. But I don't want to make the stream all about my aches and pains. So unless it gets to the point where it hurts that I can't no longer do the stream, I am not going to mention it anymore. That is my promise to you. Wow. We have to do 8 of those. Holy crud. Let's go back. And Johnson, then call it a night and double it. Oh, no. I'm good, John. I really am going to need the time next week for the sets when they come in. So I'll muscle through it. I'll be all right. And then my brother-in-law, Spencer, he bugged out on me. He's not going to Vegas with me, but my brother-in-law is. So between the two of us, we'll get it done. So, and I appreciate that, John, that you care about me. I do. I'm hoping to go to Vegas and back tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I plan on leaving early to make that possible. And then I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had a cat that was going to throw up on the floor, so I threw him outside. And that was my cat Tux, the tuxedo cat. Hello, Mrs. Chip. How you doing? So yeah, next week I want to do at least one live stream of the Tuxedo Cat, and I'm looking at the piece count. I'm going to try to pick a night that I know that I have enough time just to do it in one sitting. I don't know. It does look like kind of a lot for one sitting, so maybe it'll be two. But I'd like to do that one next. Mrs. Chip says she is tired and no AC in your car. Yeah, we're going to get that fixed here soon. I mean, okay. Hopefully, I am back. Please let me know whether you hear me or not. I don't know what happened. I lost my internet for a second. I'm not sure why. So please let me know if I am back on. Well, no one's responding. So is that no, I'm not back on? Okay. Greg says I'm back. Thank you, Greg. What? Lady, you freeze? What? Miss Chip is smoking something cheap tonight. The screen freeze. Okay, yeah, well, that makes more sense. Yeah, this is really repetitious. I'm sure it'll look nice when it's done, but for right now, it's tedious. And how was my day? Well, like I said, my day wasn't too bad. Um, the only real thing I have to say is I'm just not happy with the only negative thing I have to say is I'm not happy with the shop. Um, but I'm going to give them a chance to make it right, and we'll see how it goes from there. Um, I did drop off Spencer some dinner. And I didn't mention this, but if you guys would hit the like button, and also if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I always appreciate that. All right, so let's do this here. I have to say this is pretty intricate. I'm actually very impressed. It's okay. There we go. So yeah, my day was all right. I did get off work early. That's nice. Oh yeah, I've been working on the city, and I'm not going to have a video for you for probably later next week on that. And I've started thinking about the Avengers Tower again, and I apologize that it's taken me a long time to come up with a update on that. Oh, there's 4, so I need to do one more. But I think, and I don't want to spoil it, but I will say I think I have a pretty dang good idea of what's coming next for the Avengers Tower. And, well, I think y'all are going to think it's cool too. All right. And Greg says he can't wait for July 1st. Remind us again, Greg, what are you waiting for July 1st? I know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Bumblebee. The Transformers Bumblebee is coming out. And I think that's the only July 1st set that I'm going to get. And Mrs. Chips says, I am sure Spencer was very grateful for the dinner. Yes, he was. And he did tell me that directly. So I do appreciate hearing that. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. I'm getting lost here. Okay, so we got one side kind of done. We still got some more work, but I'm going to do the other side here. Lego. Yes, which Lego set, though? Yeah, I figured it was Lego. And I apologize. I know I'm sluggish tonight. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I got up. I woke up late. Got to work right on time, though, because, well, speed limits on the freeway are 80 here. So I did get to work on time, but barely. And I did get my truck fixed, all that good stuff. But I'm just tired. Been a long day, and my brother-in-law's house, the air conditioning doesn't work great. It does kind of work, but with how hot it was today, it was still pretty warm in there. Not as warm as outside, but still pretty warm. So, yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Bumblebee and the Lamborghini. That's cool. Hey, Mrs. Chip, there's an 8-in-1 Batman Brickheads. Well, she's probably getting that then. She loves those Brickheads. Okay. I did put together the Lego truck yesterday, and I also put together the excavator, and I put together the Sea Explorer plane and the double-decker bus. Yes, I've been busy putting together a lot of new Lego sets, and I think it's going pretty good. I was building the city last night out there in the shop, and I needed this piece because I'm doing the subway, and I wanted to line it to make it look like brick. And when I looked in my personal collection, I only had about 20 of this brick looking piece. And I need literally hundreds, if not a couple thousand. And so I was kind of discouraged. I'm like, dang it, it's going to take a lot of money. And I just right now, the truck, I just don't have it. So I was a little like, oh man, what am I going to do? And then I remembered, oh, wait a minute, I have a Bricklink store. So I checked my Bricklink store and I had just under 700 of them. So it's not enough. But yeah, what's better than double-decker bus, a triple-decker in Harry Potter, the purple one? I'm just kidding. Kind of reminds me of Mrs. Chip will know the story. I can't. It's not YouTube appropriate, but our friend Louise and double deckers. That's all I'm going to say. Oh boy. And I bet Louise is happy that it's not a story I can share on YouTube. But she's very happy about that. Okay. Wow, that took a while to get those two little towers done. Okay, so doesn't really matter. We just put it like this. Oh, shoot, not like that. The double-decker couch, yeah? From the Lego movie. That's the stupendous idea I've ever heard of. Wasn't the voice of that guy Morgan Freeman? I can't remember if it was or wasn't. But I love the Lego movie. The Lego Ninjago movie was pretty good too. Okay, so let's slide this over. Cool. So we extended these two things right here. And next we got bags 29 and 30 put together. And when I was telling you about my friend Louise in that story, all I can tell you is that it involved a stupendous amount of alcohol on his part. I think most dumb stories, or not most, but a lot of dumb stories start with alcohol. Okay, cool. So we overlap them, or yeah. These little fences have always been my favorite. I think the first time I ever had one as a kid, it was red set. Okay, let's put this aside. And yes, we have to do two of these as I suspected. So let's go ahead. Looks good. Thank you, Mrs. Chip. I appreciate that. And you know something? I know this thing says that it's done. Oh, come on. It's not responding. The air conditioner wants to shut off. I am just so warm from earlier. Have you been to Brigham Young University? Yes, actually, I have my sister who's 18 months older than me, graduated from Brigham Young University. And since a lot of people get married while they're at Brigham Young University, there is an inside joke that they call it instead of Brigham, it's Bring Them Home Young instead of Brigham Young University. And yes, I've been there. I lived just outside that campus from 92 to 93. Or no, 93, 94, I should say. And on the side of the mountain, they've got a big old Y for Brigham Young University painted, and there's a trail up there. And I've been on that trail a few times. And also there is a cave, but they've blocked it now because some people went in the cave. It's right below the Y. And they filled it with concrete because some young people decided to go in that cave, and unfortunately 4 of them drowned. And so after that tragedy, they sealed up that cave, which is a darn shame because I've been to that Y several times, and I didn't even know that the cave existed until the tragedy happened. Had I known, I think I would have gone in that cave in my younger days. And I saw that on Ballin Studios, or Mr. Ballin, or whatever his name is. He's a good storyteller. All right. I would like to do some more cave exploring in my life, but I got to be honest, I'm not in top shape anymore, so probably not a good idea. I used to like camping a lot too, but with sleep apnea, and I know they do have portable sleep apnea machines that are about the size of a soda can, but it does make camping harder when you got sleep apnea. And actually, there is the Brigham Young Mansion in downtown Salt Lake that you can visit. It's like the Eagle House, or I can't remember what they call it. I've been to it. So is Mrs. Chip. We went there, I don't know, like 2005. Sorry, I got a little confused here. So take a look at the instructions. If all else fails, read directions. That's what Mrs. Chip's dad says. Majority are related to him, probably. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. I know I'm not. And I grew up in a Mormon household. So, but I know he had many wives, and I don't know how many. But I did see the best T-shirt about the time that the Black Lives Matter started. They did have a picture, and it had Brigham Young on there, and then it had a bunch of pictures of women, and it said "All Wives Matter" instead of lives. And I think that's. I wanted to wear it around here, but I'm pretty sure I probably would have got my butt kicked around here. And actually, I was living down in Utah when I saw that shirt, so I definitely think it would have sparked some controversy. But it's not like I really let controversy get in the way of what I want to do very often. Only on YouTube. Well, this is a very interesting build already. Just all the little things that they have us do. Okay, well, that's interesting. I've only seen these wheel covers in blacker, the dark silver. We've got it in tan, and we are using it as a decoration here. Okay, so John says, I'm tempted to get the Kobe F-35 next. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you know, I looked at a couple Kobe sets the other day on the internet, and they had a couple tanks on there that I think would be pretty cool to get. I'm really short funds right now, so I don't think I'll be doing it, but I didn't think it was a bad idea. Okay. Oh, shoot. Put that too far in. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, man, that looks pretty rad. Let me show you guys. Pretty rad. One of mine, 7th grade. Okay. Oh, come on. Let me pull this out just a little bit more. Okay. I think this looks really cool. There we go. Look at that decoration. Doesn't that look really cool, like the real one? It was in 1245. The overall structure was completed, and we have to do 30 of these little things. So let's, This is bags 31 and 32. Wow. So let me do these. There's lots of them. Did you guys see the Battleship New Jersey is going home to Camden, New Jersey from dry dock? No, I did not. I knew that they were working on it. I think it's pretty cool. And I know that the Navy has talked about reactivating a few of the battleships. And they're not going to be the old style. Like they're talking about retrofitting them. I don't know if they really will because of cost. But who knows? I mean, maybe they will. I think it'd be pretty cool. Replace the C with a K. Oh, I must have missed that. With I with E. I might have. I missed it, or maybe I'm just too tired. John says their fun builds and pieces are not knockoffs; they're quality pieces. And you know, I've heard that from a few people that they really do like the off brands. A friend of mine, Leanne, really likes the off brands. So, and she swears by them. And she has purchased a few of the steampunk sets that are not Lego but Lego compatible. And she likes them. They're fun build. Oh, and Lego fits them. How you can't react to them. Well, no, actually, they were talking about it, John. I'll see if I can dig up the article. They were talking about having to do a massive retrofit on them because they want to make them basically missile platforms, is what the article said. But yeah, I'll see if I can find that, and if I can, I'll send it your way. It's been a few days ago, so I've seen it, but we'll see. Okay, let's see. 32 of these. Okay. When I flip this around, I'll show you what I did, because I got to do it the other side. So I need to flip this around eventually anyway. Okay. Yeah, and that's what they were talking about, John, is that they would like to, but they were talking about the cost might be the deciding factor. So, and I don't know. I don't know what it takes. I'm not an expert at this stuff, so I imagine the cost would be a lot, especially because, I mean, you think about it, like battleships, some of those were built in the 30s and 40s, and they're still floating. I mean, they're about 100 years old. And in the salt water, I mean, they've got to have some massive work that needs to be done on them a bit. Okay, so we added a bunch of these little guys right here, all along here, and then along here, and I need to put them here as well. And John says, I follow the Battleship New Jersey YouTube channel. They talk about it all the time. Well, that's cool, man. I didn't know there was a YouTube channel, but I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that there's a YouTube channel dedicated to that. I mean, shoot, I don't care what you're into. There's almost a YouTube channel for everything. And I actually think that's really cool that, you know, back when I was a kid, you had a couple major networks and everything else was kind of just there, kind of. And these days there's, I mean, pretty much, I don't care what your interest is, there's a channel, and there's so many different platforms like Rumble, Odyssey, you name it, that you can pretty much get into whatever you want. Okay, so they want me to build 2 of these little juicy little nuggets. John says, yeah, they have a Battleship Museum curator talking each night about 7. Oh, that's cool. And I'm not trying to make fun. I'm asking a serious question. I mean, like, is there enough news to new things that happen to the battleship New Jersey to have updates every day, or is it repeat of information, or is it different stories they tell, maybe like different battles, or they do little bits of history at a time? I mean, I'm curious. I am. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm out of camera. So I just put these two little things on here, two little spires. I'm thinking about going to Dallas in October. Are you talking about moving there, Greg, or are you talking about just visiting? So I know that you've kicked around the idea of moving there. I'm just wondering if this is your if you were able to meet that goal, or if you're still trying to do it. Are you just going to visit? Is there a game? Is there a couple games? I mean, what's the deal there? Here's a recent video. Okay. Obviously, I can't watch it right now, but I can go back and watch it after this. Okay. Ooh, that didn't like that. Okay. And now we got to do 4 of these guys with just a single little dot in there. Okay, so let's see. I need 14 of these next little guys. John says, okay. Greg said just visit Dallas. And they're short enough, 7 to 15 minutes. Try to watch when she is in dry dock. You learn a lot. The hull was in great shape. That actually sounds really amazing, because that battleship was around for a long time. Or it still is around, but yes. Is Mrs. Chip still around? So that's 6, and I need 14. Well, the naproxen really helped, because I'm not feeling near as much pain anymore. It's really subsiding. So I'm really glad about that, because I've got a long trip ahead of me tomorrow, and I can't be in pain the whole time. Mrs. Chip says, not really. 6, 8, 9, 10. Well, I don't have much left to go. Literally, really don't. I mean, after this, we've only got 2 more bags, and it's just greenery. So I'd say we got this one in the bag. And Mrs. Chip said, falling asleep, and John's talking about going to the doctor today. Actually, I need to set an appointment, because I've been having some issues lately that probably need to be looked at. Okay. And I will turn this around so you guys can see what I've done when I'm done here. Okay, so what I did here was I added a bunch of spires on here. Haven't seen a primary doctor at least a year due to her having a baby. She saw my obvious weight loss. Well, John, I think that's awesome that you were able to accomplish the weight loss. And I do celebrate that. I think that's cool, John. Do you mind sharing how much you've lost? And John said, Mrs. Chip, that video is for you. Well, right after this live stream, I got to pack up and get ready for Vegas. $50 pounds in over 2 years. That's awesome, John. What is that show? And John, I know you weren't this big, but what is that show called? Like My 600-Pound Life or something? I've only heard of it. I've never watched an episode of it. These new doctors are finally listening. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Not according to Mrs. Chip. Mrs. Chip has a good point. STDs follow you. And that's only a joke because the oldest profession is legal there, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. So, yeah. Okay, so we got 4, 6, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Yeah, it's a sob story. All right. All right. Well, guys, I'm really impressed with this model. They really did not spare any detail. It looks pretty dang cool. I like the fact that it's micro scale and it's still even cool. And I mean, like, they just did a really good job. I gotta say, really impressed. Okay, so we're done with those two bags. Next, we've got bags, the last two bags, 33 and 34. It's a sob individual. All right. Well, it says at 220 foot tall, the two towers of the western facade made Notre-Dame Cathedral the tallest building in Paris until the construction of the Eiffel Tower was finished in 1889. Okay, well, we'll just take their word for it. And we need 8 of these guys. Oh, no. 4, 6, 8. Okay, I guess there's little statues on the roof. I don't know. I've never been here. So we put the little statues here and here. And we got to do the same thing to the other side. Hey, Mrs. Chip, you still there? You know what I mean? I don't, Greg. I'm sorry. Keep in mind, I'm very tired tonight. It's been a day of just being in the heat. I don't do very well in the heat. So it looks like everything left is just a little bit of greenery, and then I know there's a spire here in the middle. Okay, so next we got to build three little trees. The Miami Heat. Oh, no, I don't follow them at all. I know they're a sports team, but I'm actually really glad I don't live in an area. Sorry, John. I'm glad I don't live in an area like Florida where it's humid all the time and just really warm. Because, I mean, you guys don't get that cold in the winter either. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that like that weather, but I'm not one of them. I like my four seasons, and I love it when it's cold here. Especially now that I have a door that covers my cold storage so I don't bring up all this crappy air, all crappy cold air during winter. Okay. I will show you guys what I'm doing here when I'm done here, and let me just get this done. No more back-breaking winters. Yeah. For 6 months out of the year. Yeah, I mean, it is, I like it. And yes, it is cold here 6 months out of the year, then it's hot the other 6. But we don't have the humidity, so usually I survive it a lot better than I did when I lived in Ohio and Virginia. I also lived in Kentucky at one time. God, I didn't like the humidity there at all. I did outdoor work during the time, and it was like by the time lunchtime hit, there was many times that I would stop by the house and put a new shirt on because it was so nasty from the sweat, from the humidity that, I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to answer the door for me if I came to your door looking like that. So, and John says, "Well, it's rainy season." Okay, yeah. I had a daughter that lived in Orlando area for almost 2 years. She told me there's swamps everywhere. Wow. So we are almost done with this. And I got to say, I'm so happy to be done with it. We just have that large spire in the middle after this, and that's it. And I don't know if I say this enough, so I'm going to say it again. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys being here. I do appreciate everything you do for me. You guys are a bit of all right. Maybe even awesome at times. No, you guys are awesome all the time. Thank you. John, how's Rue doing today? Greg, how was your work today? Snoring away. Okay. Got to get propane for your grill. Yeah, that sounds good. I do like a good barbecue, guys, and I do have a nice grill. Back when I was renting 2 storage units, I was running my Bricklink store out of it when I first moved to Utah, and they evicted, or no, they didn't evict. Somebody left their units, and once you leave the unit, anything left behind gets thrown away. Well, there was a grill that was like, I mean, it looked like it just came out of the box. There was no scratches on it, no nothing. And they got left behind. And the gal who worked at the place, she was like, "Hey, I don't know what to do with this, and it's kind of too big to fit in our trash can. Would you want it?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I would." So I ended up with a brand new barbecue grill, and I still have it, and I still use it. In fact, I just used it the other week, used some steaks. I know, John, I know you like your steaks a lot. It's okay. It's hot and humid. John, I can't remember what I've got. I have to go out and look at it. I said I didn't buy it, so I don't know. And Enzo, he's good. He came with me to my sister's house today, and you should see the looks I get though from him. When it comes time to leave, he looks at me to make sure that he's going with me. Wow, I've never seen this kind. Having the rod in the middle like that and still being able to get the studs. That's awesome. Mom's coming over for dinner. Nice to see he's a member of the family now. He is. Like I said, it was a little rough at first because he didn't want to listen, but I'm glad things worked out myself, because after all, he is a good dog. Okay, so it says in 1860, this spire was reconstructed. It's slimmer and taller than the original with the addition of sculptures of the 12 apostles along. Oh, so that's what these statues are. Oh, that's pretty cool. So they're symbolic. And how many was I supposed to put on here? 6. I got 6. Okay. And then we've got this. Well, they must have 13 apostles because they gave me another one. No, I'm just kidding. I was teasing. Okay, so there's the spire. All right, guys, this does complete the build. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting me. I was tired tonight. I'm not sure if I was going to make it, and I really appreciate your help. And we are done with set number 21061. And what we're going to do is, like I said, next time we do a live stream, it is going to be this tuxedo cat right here. There we go. So hit the like button, subscribe, turn on all notifications, leave me a comment below, visit my Bricklink store, link in the description. You guys have yourselves a wonderful night, and I will catch you guys later.